Your brand is what makes you recognizable, builds trust with your audience, and sets the tone for how your business is perceived. A well-developed brand makes it easier for customers to connect with you, remember you, and recognize your content instantly, whether it's a social media post, a website, or printed materials. And while branding may seem like a big undertaking, Canva makes it incredibly accessible, allowing you to create and implement your brand without needing expensive design software. Many new business owners start using Canva because they need a way to create branding for their business. Some may not have any visual branding in place yet, while others might have pieced together elements but don't have a fully developed brand kit. Canva provides an excellent starting point for these business owners, giving them the tools to design a logo, create a color palette, and choose fonts and imagery that reflect their business identity. That said, there is immense value in professional branding. Once you're ready to take the next step, investing in a graphic designer or branding specialist can help refine your visual identity, ensuring consistency and strategy in your brand presence. Of course, not every small business is in a position to invest in professional branding right away. If budget constraints mean you need a solid starter brand to get moving, Canva offers an accessible way to create branding that looks professional while you build and grow your business. Your logo represents your business at a glance. It acts as a visual identifier, helping people recognize and remember your brand. And a well-designed logo builds credibility, fosters trust, and ensures consistency across all of your marketing materials. Whether it appears on a website, business card, a social media post, your logo should be instantly recognizable and reflect your brand's personality and values. To ensure flexibility in different applications, it's essential to create multiple versions of your logo. Your primary logo is going to be your main version, typically designed to work well on light-colored backgrounds, whereas a reverse logo is a version with the colors adjusted for use on dark backgrounds. The simplest way to create this is often to use a white version of your logo, ensuring it remains legible and visually striking when placed against darker backgrounds. Additionally, if your primary logo includes both text and an icon, you may want to extract just the icon for use in profile pictures or favicons. This is because social media profile pictures are often displayed in square or circular formats, and a full logo with text may not be legible in such a small space, or the orientation may be so different that it leaves a lot of blank space around it, making it appear unbalanced or difficult to read. Favicons, which appear in browser tabs, are even smaller, so any text-based logo will likely become blurry and unreadable. By using a simplified icon, you ensure that your branding remains clear and recognizable across all platforms. Regardless of the options you create, you'll also need to ensure that your logo is scalable. Scalability is crucial because your logo needs to look just as sharp on a social media post as it does on a website banner or email signature. If a logo is not scalable, it may become pixelated or distorted when resized. For this reason, it's best to save your logo as an SVG file, which maintains quality at any size. Additionally, when designing your logo, ensure that you are only using scalable vector icons and illustrations. If you incorporate a photo or non-vector image into your logo, it will become pixelated and blurry if you try to enlarge it beyond its original size. If you're trying to figure out whether a graphic in Canva can be resized without losing quality, one thing to look for is whether it's a vector graphic, which can be made larger or smaller without any blurriness or pixelation. Now, a common tip I would have shared with you in the past was to check if you could change the color of an element in Canva, as that was a good indicator that it was vector. And while that's still sometimes useful, it's no longer a reliable test on its own. Canva now allows color adjustments on a wider range of graphics, including many that aren't vector-based. So rather than relying solely on the color picker, it's better to look at the style of the graphic itself. Many graphics under the Elements tab that are simple shapes, icons, or line-style drawings are most likely vector-based, which means you can resize them without getting blurry. But keep in mind that more detailed illustrations, especially ones with texture or shading, usually aren't. Those types of graphics can lose quality if you make them too large because they're based on image resolution rather than clean, scalable shapes. So for example, these graphics are likely to be vector, while these are not. Additionally, your logo should have a transparent background. This is important because a non-transparent logo format, such as a JPEG, will often include an unwanted white box around it, making it difficult to seamlessly overlay onto different backgrounds. A transparent PNG or SVG file allows you to place your logo on various designs without these limitations, ensuring flexibility and a professional appearance across all your marketing materials. I'll show you a bit later in this training how to download your logo from Canva with a transparent background so you can use it seamlessly in your designs. While Canva can be a great way to create a starter logo, it does have some limitations, particularly when it comes to its ability to be trademarked. Canva's logo templates and elements are not exclusive, meaning other businesses could be using the same or similar designs. This can limit the uniqueness of your branding, and it also means that you cannot trademark a logo created in Canva if it contains anything other than text, lines, and shapes. In other words, if your logo includes elements from Canva's stock library, it cannot be trademarked because other businesses also have access to those same design elements. If you plan to trademark your logo, it's important to take the time to read through Canva's guidelines on logo trademarking, and I'll include a link to that in the resources below this video. This will help you fully understand what you can and cannot trademark, so you can make informed logo decisions from the start. If trademarking your logo is important for your business, it may be worth considering another route for logo creation from the beginning. For example, some businesses have created their logo in Canva, built strong brand recognition, and later tried to franchise, only to find out they couldn't trademark their logo because it included elements from Canva's stock library. As a result, they had to start over, losing the brand recognition that they had built. Another important limitation to keep in mind is that while Canva Pro users can download logos as SVG files, which allow for resizing without losing quality, these are not always equivalent to vector logo formats like EPS or AI files, which are the industry standard for professional logo design. Canva's SVGs tend to be less ideal for high-end printing, which can become an issue if you need to scale your logo for large format printing, since many print shops require EPS or AI files to ensure high-quality output. Or if you design a logo in Canva and later hire a designer to refine or expand your branding, they may struggle to edit your SVG file because it lacks the flexibility of a fully editable vector file. In many cases, designers or printers may need to recreate the logo from scratch, which could result in additional time and costs. While Canva is a great tool for a starter logo, it's important to consider how you might need to use your logo in the future so you don't back yourself into a corner down the road. With those trademark considerations in mind, if you feel that using Canva is a solid solution for a starter logo to kickstart your business, let's talk about the actual steps to create your logo in Canva. Creating a logo in Canva begins by navigating to Canva's template library and searching for logo in the search bar. This will bring up a variety of pre-designed logo templates that you can browse through to find one that aligns with your brand aesthetic. Once you find a template that fits your style, click on it to open the editor and begin customizing it. Canva provides a vast selection of logo templates, and while they are a great starting point, it's crucial to customize your selection to ensure your logo is unique. Adjust the fonts, colors, and layout to better reflect your brand identity, and if your business name is particularly long, consider choosing a template that allows for easy readability at different sizes. Once your logo is finalized, you'll need to download it correctly, which means downloading it with a transparent background. This is a Canva Pro feature, so if you're using the free version of Canva, you'll need to upgrade to access this option. And you can get a free trial of Canva Pro by going to brendacadman.com/pro. Now that we've covered logos, let's talk about the next essential piece of your brand identity, your brand color palette. Your color choices are just as important as your logo because they set the tone for your entire brand presence and help create a cohesive visual identity. Color plays a crucial role in branding because it influences how people perceive your business. It's one of the fastest ways to communicate your brand's personality, values, and positioning. The right colors can evoke emotions, create associations, and make your brand instantly recognizable. When consistently used across all of your marketing materials, like your website, social media graphics, email templates, printed materials. Your brand colors build familiarity and trust with your audience. Having a well-defined brand color palette ensures that your brand doesn't feel disjointed or inconsistent. Without one, you might find yourself using a different shade of a color on your website than on your social media graphics, leading to a lack of cohesion. A strong color palette not only makes your brand look polished and professional, but also helps streamline your design process, making it easier to create marketing materials that feel aligned with your business's identity. So how many brand colors do you need? A strong brand color palette consists of 3 key types of colors: primary colors, which are used most frequently in your branding; accent colors, which add variety and visual interest; and neutral colors, which provide balance, often for backgrounds, text, or secondary elements. Your primary colors will likely be the ones most associated with your brand, appearing on your website, logo, and key marketing materials. For example, a primary color might be used for headings on your website, the background color of social media graphics, or the dominant color in your logo. Accent colors, used sparingly, can add energy and emphasis to your designs. These might be used for call to action buttons on your website, hyperlinks, or to highlight certain elements in social media graphics to draw attention. Neutral colors help create contrast and ensure readability, preventing your designs from feeling too overwhelming or cluttered. Examples of neutral colors include shades of white, gray, beige, taupe, and black. These colors are often used for backgrounds, body text, or to provide subtle balance against more vibrant primary and accent colors. Choosing the right neutral tones can help create a professional and polished look while keeping your designs visually appealing and easy to read. While there is no rigid rule on how many colors to include, a general best practice is to have 1 to 3 primary colors, 1 to 3 accent colors, and 1 to 2 neutral colors. However, flexibility is key. Some brands successfully use a more extensive palette, but this typically requires strong design experience to maintain a cohesive look. Too few colors can make your branding feel flat or limiting, while too many colors, especially when not used intentionally, can create inconsistency and dilute brand recognition. It's important to go beyond simply picking colors you like. Your brand color should reflect your brand's personality, values, and your ideal audience. Think about what emotions you want your brand to convey. Do you want to feel bold and energetic, calming and trustworthy, or luxurious and refined? Color psychology plays a major role in how your audience perceives your brand. Additionally, different industries tend to gravitate towards certain color schemes, so it's useful to consider what works well in your niche. For example, the color palette of a luxury high-end wedding planner is likely to be refined and elegant, using subtle and sophisticated tones to convey exclusivity and professionalism. In contrast, a daycare or childcare provider may opt for a more vibrant and playful palette that feels warm, welcoming, and engaging for children and parents alike. Understanding the expectations and preferences of your ideal client will help ensure that your color choices align with their perceptions and needs. If you want to develop your own color palette, there are several helpful tools available, many of which are provided by Canva. The Canva Color Palette Generator allows you to upload an image and instantly generate a matching color palette, which can be a great way to pull inspiration from existing visuals that resonate with your brand. The Canva Color Wheel helps you explore complementary and contrasting color relationships, making it easier to find harmonious combinations. For those interested in the psychology of color, the Canva Color Meanings Guide provides insights into what different colors communicate and how they can shape brand perception. Another great way to build a color palette is by pulling colors directly from an image within Canva's design editor. If you upload a photo that represents your brand aesthetic, Canva will automatically extract colors from it. To use this feature, simply add an image to your design page, click the background of your page, then select the color tool and look for the extracted colors displayed under photo colors in the color panel. This makes it easy to create a color palette that aligns with your brand's existing visuals or draws inspiration from an image that resonates with your brand identity. If you don't want to create a color palette from scratch, Canva's brand board templates can be a great starting point. These templates provide pre-designed color palettes with thoughtfully selected combinations that work well together. Using a brand board template not only gives you a professionally curated set of colors, but it also helps you visualize how your colors will work alongside fonts and other brand elements in your designs. To find these templates in Canva, go to the template library and search for brand board, or brand style guide. You'll see a variety of options that display different color schemes alongside font pairings and sometimes imagery. When selecting a template, consider how well the color scheme aligns with your brand personality. If the colors feel too bold, muted, or off-brand, they may not be the right fit. Once you select a template, you can use the suggested color palette as is or customize it by swapping out colors to better match your brand. Now that you've established a brand color palette, the next important step in creating a cohesive brand identity is selecting your brand fonts. Just like colors, typography plays a crucial role in how people perceive your business. The fonts you choose should be used consistently across all of your branding materials, whether you're creating graphics in Canva, designing your website, or producing print materials. A well-chosen font combination reinforces your brand personality, makes your content easier to read, and helps create a seamless professional look. Different types of fonts evoke different emotions and associations, and understanding how they contribute to brand perception will help you choose the right fonts for your business. Serif fonts have small, decorative strokes at the end of their letters. They often feel traditional, trustworthy, and classic. These are commonly used by brands that want to convey authority, heritage, or sophistication, such as law firms, luxury brands, or editorial publications. Example fonts include Times New Roman, Playfair Display, and Baskerville. Sans serif fonts lack the decorative strokes, creating a clean and modern look. They are often seen as approachable, minimal, and contemporary, making them a popular choice for tech companies, startups, and casual lifestyle brands. Examples include Helvetica, Montserrat, and Open Sans. Script fonts mimic cursive handwriting and can range from elegant and sophisticated to fun and whimsical. They work well for brands that want to convey creativity or elegance, but they should be used sparingly as they often do not translate well at smaller sizes, potentially affecting readability and accessibility. They are best reserved for short decorative elements such as logos, headlines, or call-out text where their stylistic appeal enhances the overall design without compromising clarity. Examples include Dancing Script, Pacifico, and Allura. Display fonts are highly stylized and designed to stand out. They can be bold, decorative, or playful and are best used for logos, headlines, or branding elements rather than body text. Examples include Lobster, Impact, and Oswald. A good brand typically uses 2 to 3 fonts within a structured font hierarchy. It's important to note that these fonts are separate from your logo font. It's not uncommon for a brand's logo to use a different typeface than its brand fonts, especially if the logo includes a custom or highly stylized typeface. Your brand fonts should be chosen for readability and consistency across your website, social media, and marketing materials, while your logo may stand alone as a distinct design element. You'll have a heading font that is often the most prominent in your designs and is used for titles, headers, and any text that needs to grab attention. It should reflect your brand personality while remaining readable at large sizes. A subtitle font is sometimes used to bridge the gap between headers and body text, offering a secondary level of emphasis. It's typically a slightly smaller and lighter weight variation of the primary font or a complementary sans serif or serif font that adds hierarchy without overwhelming the design. Your body copy font is used for longer text, such as paragraphs on your website or descriptions in social media graphics. It should be highly legible and easy to read at smaller sizes to ensure accessibility and readability across different devices and platforms. Some brands choose an accent font for specific uses, such as callouts or special design elements. However, for most starter brands, especially those creating their branding in Canva, this isn't necessary. Adding an extra font without a clear strategy can easily lead to visual clutter and inconsistency. If you're not experienced with typography, it's often best to stick to a strong primary and secondary font combination to maintain a clean and professional look. You need a font hierarchy, which refers to the intentional organization of typography to create a visual distinction between different types of text, guiding the reader's attention and ensuring clarity. This hierarchy isn't just determined by font choice, it can also involve color contrast and size differentiation. Just as selecting the right fonts is important, using them consistently across all brand materials is essential. Once you've chosen a primary, secondary, and any accent fonts, ensure they are applied in a structured way across your website, social media, and marketing materials. Maintaining consistency in font choices, sizes, and colors reinforces brand recognition and professionalism. With a solid understanding of font hierarchy in place, Let's now look at some common mistakes to avoid when choosing and using fonts in your branding. Using more than 3 fonts within your branding can create a cluttered and unprofessional look, making your materials feel visually overwhelming rather than cohesive. Keeping your font selections minimal and intentional ensures that your brand remains polished and recognizable. Another common mistake is using overly decorative fonts for body text. While decorative or script fonts can add personality when used sparingly for accents or headlines, they are difficult to read when applied to longer blocks of text. If your audience struggles to read your content, they are less likely to engage with it, which can undermine your branding efforts. Additionally, some fonts are so commonly used that they may fail to establish a distinct brand identity. Fonts like Times New Roman, Arial, and Calibri, while functional, are often associated with default system fonts rather than a unique brand presence. If your goal is to stand out, consider alternatives that retain professionalism while offering a more customized feel. Similarly, highly stylized display fonts such as Papyrus and Comic Sans, tend to carry strong associations that may not align with your brand's intended image. Finally, your font choices should align with your brand personality and values rather than just personal preference. A font that looks stylish or trendy might not be necessarily the best fit for your brand's identity. Your typography should reflect the tone and message you want to convey to your audience. For example, a playful, child-focused brand will require a very different font selection than a professional law firm. By choosing fonts strategically rather than based on aesthetics alone, you ensure that your branding is both visually appealing and effective in communicating your message. If you're ready to choose your fonts, where do you start looking for them? There are many font libraries and resources available both within Canva and beyond to help you find typefaces that align with your brand identity. If you're already using Canva to create your starter brand, the easiest thing for you may be just to find fonts directly within Canva's font library, which offers a wide selection of free and pro fonts. However, be aware that whatever fonts you choose, you'll need to ensure you can also access versions of them outside of Canva so that you can use them on your website and potentially other marketing materials as well. This is why choosing a font from Google Fonts can be so helpful, as many, if not most, of Google's fonts appear to be included in Canva's font options. If you're looking for something more unique, there are plenty of other premium fonts available for purchase online through font marketplaces, allowing you to bring more customization to your branding. That said, keep in mind that the ability to upload custom fonts to your Canva account requires a Canva Pro subscription. If you don't have Canva Pro yet, you can try it for free by going to brandacadmin.com/pro. If you're feeling overwhelmed by all the choices involved in selecting individual fonts and figuring out how to pair them effectively, this is where Canva's brand board templates can be incredibly useful. If you're not in a position to hire a brand strategist or designer to help you choose fonts and create a font hierarchy that effectively reflects your brand personality, voice, values, and ideal client, these templates can be a great shortcut. They provide done-for-you font hierarchies that ensure your brand looks professional, allowing you to move forward with running your new business without getting stuck in font selection. To find a template, go to Canva's template library and search for brand board in the template search bar. Browse the pre-made designs and look for templates that include font pairings along with complementary colors. Select a template that matches your brand's personality, choosing one with fonts that align with your brand values and visual aesthetic. By leveraging Canva's brand board templates, you can simplify the process of building a font hierarchy while ensuring that your selections work harmoniously across all branding materials. So now you've established your logo, color palette, and brand fonts, and it's time to move on to your brand images. Brand imagery plays a crucial role in shaping how your business is perceived because visuals are often the first thing people notice about your brand. Before they read a single word of your content, your audience has already formed an impression based on the colors, images, and design elements you use. Strong, cohesive imagery helps create trust, professionalism, and recognition, while inconsistent or low-quality visuals can make your brand feel unpolished or unclear. The photos, graphics, and visual elements you choose should align with your brand's personality, reinforcing your message and making your business instantly recognizable across all of your marketing materials. Whether you use photography, illustrations, or a combination of both, your brand imagery should feel intentional and consistent. There are 2 key types of imagery to consider: photos and graphics. Both serve different purposes and can work together to create a polished and professional brand aesthetic. Photos bring a sense of realism and connection to your brand. They help your audience see the people behind your business, your workspace, or your products in a tangible way. Graphics, on the other hand, add a stylized or artistic dimension to your brand. Illustrations, patterns, and textures can make your brand feel unique and memorable. The key is to strike a balance that aligns with your brand's tone. Some brands may lean heavily into photography for a more personal, down-to-earth feel, while others may use bold, graphic-driven visuals to create a strong, modern aesthetic. The combination you choose should feel intentional and help communicate your brand's message effectively. There are several types of photos to consider incorporating into your brand identity. Brand photos are professionally captured images that showcase your business in a polished and authentic way. These might include images of your workspace, your products, or your team in action. If you're a solopreneur or service-based business, high-quality brand photography can help establish a strong personal connection with your audience. Headshots are essential if you want to build trust and recognition, particularly if your business has a personal or client-facing component. A well-lit, high-resolution headshot can be used on your website, social media profiles, email signatures, and even in marketing materials. Stock images can be a great alternative if custom brand photography isn't an option. The key to using stock images effectively is choosing ones that align with your brand's color palette, mood, and style. Be mindful of selecting images that look authentic rather than overly staged. Behind-the-scenes shots provide an opportunity to showcase the more candid human side of your business. These could include photos of your creative process, packaging products, working with clients, or even snippets of your daily routine. These types of images help build transparency and relatability. And product photography is crucial for businesses selling physical or digital products. High-quality images of your products help to build trust and make your offerings look more appealing. Even if you don't sell physical products, consider showcasing the results of your work, such as digital templates, course previews, or branded materials, in order to reinforce credibility. And then we have graphics, which can add a layer of personality and depth to your brand visuals, whether used as standalone design elements or to complement photography. Illustrations can be a great way to add a unique and artistic flair to your branding. Custom or stock illustrations can be used in social media graphics, website headers, or as part of a cohesive brand aesthetic that differentiates you from your competitors. Patterns and textures provide subtle background elements that enhance your designs without overwhelming them. These could be soft watercolor textures, bold geometric patterns, classic line-based textures, or other options. Accent images include icons, decorative elements, or symbols that reinforce your brand's visual identity. Icons are particularly useful for highlighting key information on your website, presentations, or marketing materials. Consistency in your brand imagery is extremely important, and if you have a disjointed mix of different styles, colors, or lighting, it can result in your branding feeling scattered or unpolished. To ensure your brand visuals look polished and professional, make sure you use a consistent color palette across all imagery. When your visuals have a unified color scheme, they create a seamless and professional appearance across your website, your social media, and your marketing materials. Using similar lighting and editing styles in your photos helps unify your aesthetic. If your photos vary too much in brightness, contrast, or tone, they can make your brand feel inconsistent or visually disconnected. This is especially important when selecting stock images, as they often come from different photographers and they may have vastly different styles. A mix of overly bright, desaturated, or heavily filtered images can make your brand look really scattered rather than cohesive. If you're going to use stock imagery, try to choose sets that maintain a uniform look and feel across all of your images, so they feel like they belong to the same visual family. One of the most accessible places to find brand imagery if you're already using Canva is in their own stock library. Canva offers a vast selection of stock images, illustrations, patterns, textures, and all kinds of graphics, making it an incredibly convenient option for sourcing cohesive brand imagery directly within the platform. If you're using Canva's free plan, you'll have access to a selection of free stock images, but if you upgrade to Canva Pro, you'll unlock a significantly larger collection of premium images and design assets. This expanded selection allows for more variety and customization, ensuring that you can find the right visuals that align with your brand aesthetic. If you haven't upgraded yet, you can try Canva Pro for free at brendacadman.com/pro. Beyond Canva, there are numerous other stock photo sites available, both free and paid. Free stock image websites like Unsplash and Pexels offer a broad selection of high-quality images that can work well for many branding needs. However, because these platforms are widely used, you may find that the same images appear across multiple brands. This is why some business owners prefer to invest in premium stock imagery through other paid platforms. And I have a curated list of stock photo resources at brendacadman.com/design-resources, where you can explore additional options tailored to different needs. By carefully selecting high-quality, consistent imagery that aligns with your brand's identity, you'll create a strong and recognizable visual presence that resonates with your audience and supports your messaging. While investing in a brand strategist or designer is always worthwhile when you're in a position to do so, I know that's not always an option when you're just starting out. Perhaps the most important thing to remember is that consistency matters. The more you reinforce your colors, fonts, and imagery across all of your marketing materials, the more recognizable and professional your brand will appear. Canva makes this easier by allowing you to save and apply your brand assets quickly across all of your designs by utilizing their brand kit feature. If you'd like to learn more about how to take your new starter brand and set it up inside Canva's brand kit, I have another video that walks you through the process. You'll find the link to that video in the description below. If you haven't upgraded to Canva Pro yet, I encourage you to give it a try and see how Canva's premium features can help you design content more easily and efficiently. You can try Canva Pro for free at brendacadman.com/pro.